And did you have any interesting things happen in your yoga training, or something that you can remember, or?
I mean,
or is it just like,
it's overall, it's a great journey. It's absolutely incredible. Anyone who I think, if they were to ask me if they're interested, I'm like, absolutely 100%. Like, but it's a lot of your time. It's something to be taken seriously. And you'll find like a lot of self-growth in that. Definitely. What I loved about mine was we did like a lot of like group sharing things, like stuff that's very common here in Tulum, but
okay, well, maybe also our listeners may not know what that's like.
Right, yeah. So, which was new to me at the time, like sitting in a group with people getting vulnerable was never something I really have done before. So at the time it was very new and like very like, but it was really, really nice. And like that aspect I really appreciated, because for my like what you see in like the poses and the posture, like you were talking to me before we did the podcast, like the handstands and stuff, like a lot of that, like I was self-taught, but to go inside and to be vulnerable, like it takes like a special group and setting and people you're with to like help you feel safe, and to like for someone to have like that room for self-growth to open up like that.
Right.
And that was something like you can't really learn on your own. So that was my biggest thing. I think my biggest takeaway of my yoga teacher training, which was really nice.
Nice. So like being in a community with people, like-minded people, and having an open, like trusting space where you can share and be yourself and non-judgment.
Yeah. And seeing like, just other people being like, doing the same thing there is just very powerful, especially when it was great too, because mine was, such a diverse group. There's like 15 of us, but I was probably one of the younger people in the bunch. And then there was like, a man who was like, I don't know, 65 years old, but it's pretty incredible, right? When you're sitting there and like different walks of life, hearing other people's stories.
Yeah.
Really great.
Like continuing adult education, but like at this stage, like you can start at any stage of your life if you want to do yoga. You don't have to.
Absolutely.
People think there's this stereotype. Oh, you have to be young. You have
to be flexible. You have to look like this. Like no. You
body image and all these things.
No. And you don't even have to take, like, I did the yoga teacher training, but I wasn't necessarily doing it to be like, okay, I'm ready to go out there and become a yoga teacher. Like, it was more like, I'll do it. At some point, I'll probably want to start teaching, but it's also just a great way to deepen your own practice and, like I said, discover other versions of you that are there too.
Yeah. Do you have any
more self-growth?
Any tips for people listening on maybe starting?
Yoga itself, or like yoga teacher training?
Yoga teacher training.
Well, yeah. If you're like interested in a yoga teacher training, I would say take time to like research who you want your director to be, whether you want to do something like travel to India or Bali. I think that's great and like super incredible, but also there could be something great right in your own neighborhood. Don't look past it. And if you're really comfortable with like a studio and you're really connecting with someone there, just because someone looks a certain way on social media, like, I don't know, you could be missing an opportunity that's right in front of you.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. I think a lot of people would when I meet a lot of people who are getting into the yoga teacher training, they always say, oh, I'm going to go to India, or I'm going to go to Bali,
right.
or somewhere, or I follow this yoga
person who I don't even know, but they seem great on social media, right? So it's got to be great, which maybe it could be. I don't know
right.
But yeah, definitely like I loved like where I did mine, and I wouldn't trade that for anything. And yeah. So just take time and research. It's a big commitment. Like take some time to think about it, because you will be like having to, give up some things, and of course your personal time, but like say no to other things in like your life going on, because it's going to take a lot of focus. But yeah,
cool. All right, so look at where you're going to take it at. What else? What other tips?
They're usually a little chunk of change, so make sure you'll be good with that. And
how much does it cost?
They're roughly around like $3,000. $3,000, a little over.
Okay,
is the average cost, unless you were someone who is interested in doing Bikram, but that's a different topic.
Yeah, I've seen the Netflix.
You did, yeah. $14,000 $14,000 for yoga teacher training in Vegas.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's like a thing, right? That was like a thing, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna go to Vegas. Like I'm gonna pay this $14,000. Like that's crazy. That's crazy.